Gonna have to abandon it. It does finally decide to open up. Okay. So, welcome everybody to Starseries Season 5. I'm basically bringing you guys this game. This is pretty much an unofficial cast again from me, and this is going to be our very first game of this season of Starseries. It's Lions Pride are going to be over on the Radiant side, having just recently lost to Vigos, so I guess one of their star players up against 3D Clan, sorry. We're going to be over on the Dire side, and as you can see on the board ahead in front of you right now, is that Silencer has made it through into the competitive CM, well, the tournament CM pool now, so we're going to see a ban out on Silencer, and actually some non-standard bans, I gotta say, coming out from both sides. We've got an Anti-Mage and a Rubik from Lions Pride, and the Keeper of the Light removed by 3D Clan, so Wisp remains in the pool, as does Magnus, and Darkseer as well, and Shadow Demon's actually going to be the choice here from Lions Pride, so we're going to have some interesting Dota coming up regardless. So what else is there to talk about at the moment? So we've got Silencer in the pool. This is the start of Starseries. I think I've introduced who I am. Big thank you to Shiver, who I believe is the official English coverage for this game. She's got me listed over on her schedule, so I'm very appreciative of that. And Lions Pride, we're actually going to see a Lifestealer pickup here. So the Shadow Demon going to be covering the Lifestealer. I've still got music on. That's what I've messed up. Sorry about that one, guys. You've got the very, very faint background music going on. But anyway, that should hopefully be it as far as random adjustments goes. 3D Clan, they're going to opt to pick up a Batrider and a Phantom Lancer, and even Batrider making it through into the pool. So Lions Pride managed to cover their Lifestealer pick at least a little bit with the Shadow Demon. But Phantom Lancer from 3D Clan, we'll see what the response is going to be from Lions. And it's actually going to be an Enchantress, so they've got the combination of Shadow Demon and Enchantress to try and deal with the Phantom Lancer. So the fantastic thing about both of these heroes is that they give you a late game sort of plan B against PL. You can get two big armies of Phantom Lancer illusions of your own going between the Enchant and the Disruption, and then from there hopefully look to leverage your own army to win the game. And Enchantress, Shadow Demon, Lifestealer, not bad heroes either for going aggressively against the PL, which is one way to lock him out early. So heading into the next ban phase right now. As far as lanes go, 3D Clan just trying to secure themselves a nice easy mid matchup, especially if Lions Pride are going to be running an offensive 2.5 or an offensive tri-lane against them. If it doesn't, when I say offensive 2.5, I mean offensive Shadow Demon plus Lifestealer. Enchantress is popping in and out of the jungle to put the pressure on, so she's not necessarily really in the lane. I guess that's made up terminology for me. And Darkseer now actually gets a second round ban. So the nice thing about the Silencer is that, well, the nice thing about seeing Silencer push through, at least from my perspective, is that because teams don't necessarily know where he lies just yet, and I think some teams are of the opinion that he's very, very strong. If you've seen Empire's Scandal recently, I think he's been playing nothing but Silencer for the past couple of weeks in preparation for this, so we might see some of that from Empire coming up. But right now, the big deal is that with Silencer in the pool, teams are going to be banning him, which pushes other things through. And as we've seen, Lions Pride even just sort of throwing bans at what would typically be considered sort of tier 2, I suppose, heroes, or tier 1.5, pushes a lot through into the pool. 3D Clan, yesterday you would have said, how did they get Nyx and Batrider through? Well, the Silencer making all the difference in the world. So Lions Pride, they've got those two tools to deal with the PL so far, but they don't really have any AoE to speak of just yet, so they don't necessarily have early game illusion clearing, and hopefully going to be seeing some of that with their two remaining solo pickups. Regardless of how they run lanes, be it a defensive 2.5 or an aggressive 2.5, they do still need to find both of those solos, so 3D Clan choosing to ban out a solo mid and a solo off lane between the Quap and the Darkseer, so nothing too surprising there. And Lions Pride, what's it been for them so far? Just going to be a Bane ban out, so I think still trying to get themselves in a good position to try and go for this offensive try down on bot. PL quite weak at being offensively tri-laned against, especially when he doesn't have the Coddle as the assist, and Nyx is okay, but he's going to suffer a little bit, especially with Enchantress ganks coming through. Just the nature of the dual melee lane that 3D Clan will probably be running, but if they can win their two solo lanes, which Batrider is well equipped to do, then they should be in an okay position regardless. But you do have to keep in mind that Lions Pride have twice as many Phantom Lancers as 3D Clan do themselves. And 3D Clan, they're going to lock in a puck here, so looking at that second solo, I'm not 100% sure how to call these lanes at the moment. It could be an off-lane solo puck, who would probably be finding a 1v1 matchup, or just the offlane solo Batrider finding the 1v1, and then Puck heading towards mid. 3D Clan just looking to lock out that last support right now, and it's going to be an Omni Knight from Lion's Pride. So we've got mass magic immunity and sort of mass early to mid game, but we'll see how this Omni Knight is going to be run. He might potentially be against the Bat. I'm not 100% sure how to call this one, and it's frankly a little bit unusual. And Leshrac going to be that last support for 3D Clan, but what a game we have ahead of us. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. And yeah, these picks, it's a whole new world of drafting for the beginning of Starseries Season 5, and I guess maybe teams finding their feet a little bit as well. As I mentioned right at the start, EL Pride, or Lions Pride, did actually recently lose Vigos, and they're playing with iDash, who you can see is their stand-in at the moment, so maybe not as familiar with their roster, and just doing something, well, it's not necessarily off the wall, but a little bit unusual, especially given how the metagame has been for the last couple of weeks. And Lions Pride right now, probably just looking for that last solo. I think 3D Clan did a great job picking up the puck and then locking out the Queen of Pain. It's left options a little bit limited for Lions Pride, since they don't want to pick up someone like the TA, especially if there's a Batrider on the field, and even these days, TA is a little bit weaker than she used to be with the change to the refraction mana cost, so it doesn't necessarily require a ban here from 3D Clan. And Lions Pride, what's it going to be? Would be nice to see some... Oh god, it's Sniper! Okay, so we get a little bit of AoE, we get some mid-game, we get some pretty good lane dominance, frankly, in the Sniper pickup, but heroes that I don't think we've seen in competitive Dota for a very long time now coming out in this game. So it could go anyway. It could go anywhere, frankly. I'm really excited, and hope you guys are excited as well. What's it going to take for me to get a partnership with Twitch so that you guys can get re-encode? I'm not sure. If I'm going through standard channels, then I need to be streaming more and getting more viewers. But I think I can talk to a couple of people, since I've been doing some streams for the Adroids tournament and things like that. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get re-encode for you guys soon enough, so you don't have to deal with only 720p. Which I know is a difficult thing for a couple of you guys out there. So anyway, getting into the game, over on the side of 3D Clan, we're going to have Solo playing the Leshrac, Nexus is going to be on the Phantom Lancer, Dread on the Nyx Assassin, Lulic is going to be on, Lulic is going to be on the Batrider, and Sharfik, the captain, on the Puck. Over on the side of Lions Pride, we've got Keiko, or Seiko, I'm going to need help with these pronunciations. On the Shadow Demon, we've got Massacre. On the Omni Knight, it's going to be Stalk. On the Lifestealer, Android P is going to be on the Enchantress, and that leaves the stand-in iDash to play the Sniper. And stream seems to be okay for once tonight, so that's always nice to see. And yeah, awesome. Looking, and we've got apparently a cool courier on Daria. So we've got the Starseries Grillhound going on, and I've got one of those. I'm not particularly attached to it, but I guess there's some giveaway potential there, or something like that. So let's have a quick check-in on starting items for both sides, since that's always going to be interesting. So 3D Clan sort of showing that it's just going to be this defensive tri-lane from them. They've got some sentries picked up on Solo. And Lions Pride actually opting to what looks to be a jungle Nyx. Though Quelling Blade, Stout Shield leans that way. Looks like he's going to be laning, however. We've got the Shadow Demon with some sentries and some obs picked up. A little bit of dewarding attempted near the top rune, but not actually spotting at either of the obs from 3D Clan. And yeah, just super interested to see how these lanes work out for Lions Pride. So far it looks like a sacrificed offlane, a jungle Enchantress. We've got Omni Knight just chilling out on mid right now. The matchup on mid is going to be a Puck against a Sniper. Sniper does okay as far as CSing goes, just with his fantastic animation, but it is going to be trouble for him, and he doesn't really have any rune control to leverage. So if we see a whole bunch of lucky top runes for Sharfik, then he's going to be in a pretty good spot. The bottom rune should be contested by the 4 heroes that we do have chilling out sort of in this bottom lane region for EL Pride. So there's a little bit of a luck-based factor here for them, and we've actually got a mid pull running right now for Pride, so and the Wildkin actually chasing Sharfik out, looking to interrupt that one. So this is one way that, you know, that EL Pride can swing the lane on mid sort of back in their favor. And try to get some farm up on the sniper, so sort of running duo carry and having the option to run one of them mid is always fantastic. And we've even got this annoying Wildkin Tornado keeping Sharfik all the way back out of the lane right now. So a lot invested from Pride. This seems to be paying off, and Sniper now finding a little bit of CS, but only 1 for 2 at the moment. And it's a similar story for 3D Clan. So we've got a jungle Batrider. He's not actually on the off lane, just sort of stacking, clearing, doing what a jungle Batrider does best, and just sacrificed off lanes on both sides. It should turn out reasonably even as far as overall XP goes. Gold, we'll have to see whether it favors the Enchantress or the Batrider. Enchantress has the option to be more active, while Batrider's just going to be straight farming, so we shall have to see as we move forward. And our 2-minute rune, camped up by the Enchantress, is going to spawn down on bot, so that's an illusion there, not a big deal. And the illusion's just going to be heading towards mid to get a little bit more harassment out as well. Looks like I had a very quick bout of frame drop there, but it seems more or less okay now, so sorry about that one, guys. Hopefully it won't persist. Again, I do stream from Australia, so there can be the occasional internet issue. We've got a smoke gank coming out right now from Lions. Unfortunately, they're ganking with a Wildkin or a Wild Wing Ripper, and actually going all the way up and around right now. Not quite sure what they're looking for. Maybe hoping that somebody's going to be heading down towards bot, but Batrider is nowhere to be seen, and we've got Massacre making his way up towards top to try and slow down this push at least a little bit. They'll have to be so cautious with his positioning on the Omni Knight, and Lions Pride still looking for someone on bot who isn't even here. They might just transition this one into a push with Stalk pushing the wave in, but it's... he actually has 2 range creeps here. If he can keep those ones alive, it should be pretty good, but Sharfik, seeing what's happening down on bot, immediately goes aggressive on iDash. I'm going to be forcing him out of the lane. We've got Fortification for the Dire Structures popping off to stall down on bot. A little bit in the tier 1 on top going to be claimed by 3D Clan quite handily. Solo gets the last hit in, so I guess a little bit more farm going his way, and Lions, frankly, a little bit slower down in this bottom lane. They're about to lose that Wildkin as well, so the armor aura now completely gone, and this is actually going to take them a while to get through. Tower done in about half right now, and we've got one more creep wave coming in. Siege creep doing its magic as well, but yeah, even dominating just the melee creep to tank a little bit. So tier 1 will be following, well, tier 1 will be falling quite soon. And yeah, so Vigos is no longer playing for Lions Pride, for anyone who's wondering in chat. There's an article on Join Dota right now about all of that. The 4-minute rune spawns top, so that's a little bit of luck for Sharfik, and that one's also being camped out by Dread. But yeah, so Vigos isn't playing anymore for Lions Pride. There's no clear indication if he's going to be playing competitive Dota in the next few months or anything like that. And they also recently lost their manager as well, so they've got iDash sort of as the replacement. He's just playing as a stand-in right now, but I think he's more or less their permanent replacement. We've got a heal flying out, as we've got a nuke through from the puck on mid. So the Omni Knight still just camping out. He has managed to find a couple of levels just by team jungling with the Enchantress and making his way up towards top. And Lions Pride, I guess overall game strategy from them is we've got double carry. We're playing really defensively right now, and we've got 2 ways to make a crap load of Phantom Lancers once we get to the late game. So that's pretty much it right now. They don't really have all that much early game to leverage. They are trying to use the Enchantress to get a couple of early towers down, get that farm rolling on their carries, but Enchantress is probably going to be falling off quite a bit as we head towards the late game, just the nature of the hero. So trying to get as much as they possibly can out right now. Solo's going to make his way down towards bot to try and stall this push a little bit, but doesn't actually have any points up in the Lightning Storm to try and do so. And Sharfik has a haste, but no Dream Coil just yet. More TP support coming in for Lions Pride, and Sharfik looking for the intercept, but again, he doesn't have Coil. So even with a haste, we'll see if it's going to be enough. We've got the heal popping off for the Enchantress. There's the disruption. It looks like Lions Pride are going to be fine to actually retreat all the way back to their tower. So Sharfik, frankly, I think he wasted a little bit of time making his way down towards bot. There wasn't really the potential for them to try and find a kill. And Batrider only level 4 as well, so there wasn't really the potential to find a lasso or anything. And they invested a whole bunch of TPs just to scare Lions back off the tower. The rune does spawn up on top. That's our 600 rune. Sharfik gonna cop a few hits to try and grab that one, but nothing that iDash can really do except watch as far as farm goes. Nexus pulling ahead quite a bit compared to the Lifestealer, but it's still early days. And again, they've got a lot of ways to turn the Phantom Lancer's power back against him once we sort of get towards the late game. And Omni Knight with the tier 1 tower already down has a little bit of space to find some farm. So he's almost up to level 5, which is frankly pretty good, given the fact that it's an Omni Knight and he's normally difficult to find a lane for. And iDash, oh, he's just going to be able to spam off the ultimate right as he gets it here on mid, so just keeping Sharfik back, and it does sort of translate into the score as you can see as well. iDash leading the puck by about 10 CS, but a lot of that is just the commitment that Lions Pride have been making towards this middle lane with multiple Wildkins and a lot of heals, well, a couple of heals coming out from the Omni Knight as well. So, Sniper doing a pretty good job, but PL still on top as far as that farm goes. Dread still a long way away from that crucial level 6 for 3D Clan, and we'll see how comfortable that we'll see how comfortable they're feeling about sort of taking this into a late game situation. They are probably going to be waiting around for the Blink Dagger on the Batrider and the level 6 up on the Nyx before trying to do too much, but it shouldn't be too far away for Bat right now, especially with all of these stacks. And looks like I had a very quick GPU glitch there, though. Hopefully that won't be a theme for this match. So I've got still more heroes for Lions on mid. They don't want to risk their sniper at all, and there is almost level 6 up on Sharfik. They've actually done a great job of keeping him out of this lane, though the exchange has been pretty much free farm on the Phantom Lancer, and coming up and around, maybe just trying to bait out the phase shift. He's got the assassinate ready right now. Sharfik just bottling himself up into the safe range, and Ape Maroon, he guesses bot, finds himself a regen. So a little bit of luck, and he's got some nice vision as well down towards that bottom lane. So not really under threat. Oh, we've got a big smoke coming out from 3D, but it's still only level 4 up on the Nyx, now level 5 up on Solo. They're going up and around, but they're walking straight past a Radiant Sentry and a Radiant Observer. The pings have to be going out right now. The stun does connect on iDash, but there's the immediate repel, so Impale not going to be connecting, and now the turnaround. The open wounds on Solo. He's going to try and keep himself out, but it's going to be too much damage. That's our first blood at 8.5 minutes. Nexus is going to double walk, but there's still the Sentry here. Nice Dream Coil, catches a couple, and the Phantom Lancer able to come back in for a kill. The drag back attempted by the Batrider. He is going to drop. iDash just standing his ground. And yeah, just wailing away underneath this tower. Sharfik dropping low, and Android brought back up by the attendants there. Sharfik not going to be able to phase shift that assassinate, but it's actually going to be a kill. A kill going back on the Shadow Demon there. So as the dust settles and as we see a pause, it's a 1-kill lead for 3D Clan, though the first blood drawn by Lions Pride. And Batrider, despite the death, still about 2k gold. So very, very close to that blink, though there isn't any semblance of a stack left for him to try and grab. But yeah, a nice team fight overall as far as XP goes. Only about a 500 lead in favor of the Dire side right now, and pretty much nothing in as far as gold goes. So, whew. What a team fight to start us off. Pretty much a full-scale engagement right from the word go, and looks like it's just sort of back to farming positions a little bit, but 3D going to be getting some pretty significant levels before the next exchange. Again, they didn't have 6 up on the Nyx just yet. They didn't have the blink up on the Batrider, and those are 2 significant pickups that aren't actually all that far away. And Nexus with that fight looks like he's actually finished up his defusal, so that's going to be flying out right this second. Oh, the purge up on Nexus. Well, no, just the open wounds dusted as well, and it's going to be a dunk with the purification. So Omni Knight purging away that cancer, and EL Pride bringing themselves back up to even on the board. Not a whole lot of farm to speak of for the Enchantress, but she's been active around the map and securing farm for her carry, so can't really criticize there. I've seen a couple of towers drop and whatnot, so I'll switch myself over to the net worth, which is a little bit inaccurate right now since Nexus is still waiting on that defusal to be dropped off, and it's actually just going to be dropped off at base right now. So we'll see a spike in his net worth as soon as that's dropped off, and yeah, 4.6k is his net worth right now. So ahead of both the Sniper and the Nyx at the moment, and Sniper just going to be making his way towards the Lothars, and we've got the very pesky Harpy Stormcrafter on mid, driving Sharfik back, and again, needs to be careful. That Assassinate is very, very potent. He hasn't actually managed to find all that much farm, but is now up to level 7, so he's got the all-important Dream Coil and the maxed out Illusory Orb. And for the guy in chat asking if this is a best of 1 or a best of 3, this is a best of 1 since it's the group stages. It's the best of one since it's the group stages of Starseries. So we've got the Blink Dagger now finished up on the Batrider Ultimate ready to go. We've got some Sentry Woods down to guard this push from Lion's Pride, so very painfully aware of the level 6 up on the Nyx and putting some good damage out on the tower right now. Fortification is actually going to pop, but Nyx is still a long way away from this fight, so 3D Clan, we'll see how long they can stall. Going to threaten the stun. Rage is going to pop off from the Nyx. Nyx is still trying to come in from the side, and the Harpy standing its ground. Can 3D try and find a pick off again? There is still a couple of sentries down, preventing the initiation from Dread, so it really needs to be coming from the Batrider right now. Just the Assassinate, absolutely ruining Solo. He's actually going to grab a salve from one of his teammates, and Pride looks like they're not done just yet. Still continue to put pressure on mid. We've almost got the Armlet finished up for the Lifestealer. Solo's going to make his way and down towards bot, and Lions continue the 5-man Dota, though it seems to be working at the expense of a little bit of farm on the PL, but they've already managed to find a successful gank on him, so he has been slowed down at least by a little bit. And again, Disruption and the Enchant going to be great against him at pretty much every point in the game. So that's pretty much it at the moment. Sniper almost has his Lothars finished up. As far as warding goes, not a whole lot of progress from 3D Clan. We've seen these up earlier. Good warding positions, especially given that Lions did pretty much spend the entire start of the game in this bottom this bottom side of the map. Dread now up in the Vendetta looking for the Shadow Demon. Sharfik just a little bit further back. They do have the mini track of the poison flying through. So it looks like Sharfik's just going to back himself off, and the random nuke thrown out by the Tormentor now. All of the neutral names got changed in the last patch. Not 100% sure why, I guess it's copyright issues, but yeah, the Tormentor randomly cops the Nyx in the face, and that's the Vendetta on cooldown now for another 40 seconds. We've got the Armlet finished up on the Lifestealer, and now with the Chainmail picked up, we'll see what's going to be. Could just be an early Medallion. If Lion's Pride continue to put the pressure on, they could look towards quite an early Roshan, especially using the Enchantress and the Omni Knight. And what video quality does this stream have? This is a 720p stream. You got the Infest up in the Sniper making his way towards mid, and they are looking to open up on the Batrider right now. This Lothar's hit is going to be absolutely huge. The open wounds already, Batrider no health to speak of, and a very nice pick off there from Lion's Pride. We do have a little bit of split pushing happening down on bot right now from 3D Clan, but afraid to take a team fight, frankly. And the Lion's Pride just going to be happy to take this opportunity to put some damage out on mid. Radiant structures are going to be fortified, and actually wasting a lot of the Edict there. It looks like 3D are going to be able to take this exchange regardless, but it's a tier 1 for a tier 2, so definitely not favorable overall. And they're starting to lose control over the Roshan pit. I mean, people would normally say, okay, Dire, you've got favorable control over Roshan since it's on your side of the river, and you've got 4 potential towers that you can TP to have fast access. So the 2 towers on bot, the 2 towers on mid, and that's all fine and dandy, but there's only 1 remaining, and it's already down to about half health, so Lion's Pride looking in better position to try and take that. They've got a smoke heading up towards top, trying to spot out Nexus, who's carrying the anti-invis. We do actually have the Shadow Demon leading, and he's got that dust, but oh, looks like they're going down for the illusions. Look, yeah, Nexus is just going to TP himself out. Everybody's vanished off the map. He doesn't want any of what Lion's Pride are bringing, so they're going to have to reveal themselves in just a second and probably just start going for this push. But yeah, things working out pretty well for Lions right now. I've got some Arcane Boots up on the Enchantress. Still haven't seen exactly what this Chainmail is going to be building into for the Lifestealer, and Sniper getting scarier and scarier with every level. 3D Clan actually going to opt to head into the Roshan pit themselves, so I guess this is a nice response, especially given that, well, Pride were probably looking towards it quite soon. So it might be Roshan in exchange for the tier 1 up on top. There's no vision for Lions. This is unfortunately an exceedingly slow Rosh for 3D, but they're making pretty good progress, and Solo almost has that next Edict up in just a second. We've got a bottle passed off just so we can actually cast that one. So I guess miscalculating a little bit with the stun. But yeah, just an exceedingly slow Rosh, though it looks like they are going to be able to get it down. Lions maybe suspecting that something is now up. They're going to be making their way over to the pit. And 3D, they're actually going to back off with Roshan down at about 2k. They lost Lions on the map, and they don't possibly have vision of them right now. That's the Dire vision. They just got a glimpse of Sniper down on bot. So that might be enough confidence for them to head back in the pit. They do not want this going the way of Lions. And how is XP actually shaping up right now? It's actually in favor of the Dire, though gold swinging out a little bit in favor of the Radiant. Still a pretty even game by any metric, and now we've got the Aegis picked up on the Phantom Lancer along with the Diffusal level 2. So making his early game presence a little bit stronger, and I guess nice to have, especially at this point, since he doesn't really have that much illusion propagation. So while Enchantress and Shadow Demon can try and create an army of their own, they're going to be quite flimsy, I suppose, and 3D do definitely have the AoE to try and deal with some clones. So it's a slightly more early game oriented Phantom Lancer build, and we'll see how it works out. Over on Lions, just finding themselves a little bit of farm. They are running duo carry, and I think still feeling confident about the late game with the Shadow Demon and Enchantress. Looks like it's just going to be probably a Yasha into a Manta for the sniper right now. And 3D actually playing a little bit of 5-man Dota. We've got a mech picked up on the puck, so initiation now completely rests on the Batrider and the Nyx, and Lions, they've done a really good job of keeping sentries up before every big engagement, so it's really going to have to come down to the Batrider to try and make things happen. So yeah, 3D now putting pressure in on mid. iDash is actually down on bot. He does have a TP scroll ready to go. The drag back now onto Stock. Perhaps in a little bit of trouble. He does have the Infest available. Now pops off the Rage. Going to work, and everybody just a little clumped up. There's a nice Dream Call popping up. 2-man stun as well. The Flame Break knocking everybody back. 2 already dead on the side of Lions, though. A buyback from the Enchantress. Omni's going to pop off his ult, but still being worked down. The Diffusal purges that one off, and Stock still trying to do what he can. He's going to throw it in open wounds, but now slowed down, purged up. iDash is going to come back into the fight. Well, comes into the fight, immediately dies. Stock manages to make it up onto the high ground, and Enchantress is going to try and make her retreat, but 3D Clan, a very convincing team fight there, and going to be able to pick up a tower at the same time, not losing anybody. Now 3 kills to the lead, and the Aegis of the Immortal still in hand, so they've got still about 4 minutes to try and push using this, and they didn't really invest all that many big ultimates. Well, they didn't really invest too much for that last fight. The mech is already off cooldown. Solo pretty much out of mana, and they don't have that blink initiation. We've got a disruption going out. Stock walking straight into the middle with the repel up and just going to work on Nexus. He is dusted. Is the next going to be enough damage? Looks like it will be. The Aegis is going to pop. Sharvik now backing himself off. Dodges his way out of the impetus, and 3D Clan still just standing around their Phantom Lancer right now. Oh, Solo getting popped. We've got the repel up on the sniper, so just going to work. Nexus comes back in, wants this fight. iDash dropping low, gets the repel purged off him and immediately focused down. Nice impale there, and looks like Lions are just gonna have to back themselves off without that primary damage source. 3D gonna grab the tower and just now make their retreat since they don't have the Aegis anymore. And yeah, looking great for them in the last couple of minutes, managing to claim the tier 2 on mid, issued the tier 2 on top, and a tier 2 down on bot. Left for them to work through, and only 2 out of towers as well for Lions. So even as far as the tower exchange goes so far. And what have we got going on? It's about a 5k XP lead in favor of the Dire, and a 4k gold lead, so both of them plummeting downwards at the moment. And 3D still looking for aggressive pickups. They got the Vendetta up on the Nyx, and Stock makes his way up towards top. Looks like he is just working towards the AC with that, well, with the casual chainmail, picking up the Hyperstone right now. But 3D doing a great job of really asserting their dominance after finding the push down mid. They even managed to grab this really cheeky ward back behind the Radiant tier 2 on top. So they've got tabs on absolutely everyone, and this is going to be a big deal, especially when it comes to the push, trying to find those pickoffs with the Batrider. And yeah, I guess as you can see in chat, and I definitely agree, the Diffusal Blade on the Phantom Lancer has really been doing work. I mean, iDash thought that he was fine. He thought he had the repel, thought he could just right-click anyone he wanted, and then the immediate purge got impaled, and the very, very squishy sniper being bursted down pretty much immediately. So, Vision looking really great for Lions. Looks like they're baiting a little bit using the sniper. They've dropped a sentry down behind him, and Shadow Demon just making sure that he has a little bit of farming space. They've got good defensive supports to try and back him up, but the burst damage on 3D is catching up with the sniper very, very quickly. And we've already got a Force Staff finished up on the Bat. So I said that with the mech pickup on the puck, Bat's going to have to do all of the initiation, but he's been doing a pretty good job of it so far. And to Type 0 in chat, I don't believe he used up all of the initial charges before upgrading it. So losing out on a few there. But he has been, well, very calculating in his use so far. Still has 5 left, for anyone who is wondering. And now 3D just doing a little bit of dewarding, so right now things not looking great, frankly, for Lions. They're being pushed back. This is their vision, the picture of their vision at the moment, and it's pretty much just lanes. They've only got a couple of obs up, but not really providing them with all that much useful vision. And we had an Assassinate pop off. Looks like it was just on Nexus. It's going to be immediately topped off by Tranquils. And an Urn, the push knot comes in, and is that Bat Rider off to the side. He's looking for the pick. He's got the blink, he's got the Force Staff, he's got the vision, and he's ready to go, just making sure that he doesn't get that blink cancelled by the Shadow Poison. So Shadow Demon doing a good job of zoning him out right now. And definitely what he needs to do, though, the Bat Rider could just try and jump him, which could be a bit of a problem. And he can just try and get over this chasm as well. 3D Clan now just pushing into the tower. Fortification does pop off. Nexus is going to take a little bit more damage, but I think there's still Urn charges ready to go for him. They don't have the Aegis advantage right now, so being a little bit more timid with this initiation. And, oh, Bat Rider, Fireflied up. Now looking for the initiation, he's going to jump in, he grabs the repelled sniper, dragging him straight back into his doom, immediately drops Stalk going to work, but it's only on creep so far. The mech pops, Sharfik hasted, running himself away, Solo now just walking straight through, the buyback from the sniper, but this is already looking pretty bad. He's back in the fight, but the Firefly straight on top of him, and one more impale. The nuke from the Phantom Lancer drops a second time, Dread just trying to kite a little bit in the purge up on Stalk. Not a whole lot that he can do. Dread will drop from that tower, popping up the Carapace at the last second, but an ultra kill for Nexus. And this Phantom Lancer, he is looking ridiculous. It's now a 9-kill lead for 3D Clan. They claimed the tier 2, and I think XP and gold, when we check them in just a second, will have taken a little bit of a nosedive. Sniper investing that buyback. He's got absolutely nothing in terms of farm. Well, let's have some reasonable farm, but he's going to be dead at least for the rest of this duration. And the Repel not doing anything, immediately purged off by Nexus, now looking towards Massacre. Slowed down, there's no Repel, there is going to be a heal in just a second, but he's not even able to get it off. It's effectively a Rampage +1 for the PL right now, and we've got some prizes going out, but yeah, geez. Cancer Lancer going to work, definitely. So, Lions, they haven't lost a Ract just yet, but 3D Clan going to be fine to head back, regroup, probably just wait around for the next Roshan, and feeling pretty confident with their position right now with almost 13k net worth up on the PL. He's going to have that Manta style finished up quite soon, though he might just make his way towards the Heart. There is an argument to be made against the Heart, especially with the Lifestealer, but they've shown that they've got all of the tools that they need to just kite the Lifestealer until the end of days, between even just a single stack of Sticky Napalm, the Purge, and then the slow from the Spirit Lance. He hasn't really been able to sit on top of a target very successfully, and frankly hasn't really been all that scary in teamfights. We've now got Ghost Scepter coming up on Solo, so that's going to be a big help. Ghost Scepter up on Dread as well, so he's extremely difficult to bring down at this point between the Carapace and that Ghost. And yeah, frankly, EL Pride are in a little bit of trouble right now. They're going to continue to play 5-main Dota, stay grouped up, but overall game plan for them, not sure what they've got waiting. The Phantom Lancer is strong, and again, I did mention earlier on in the game that they've got both the Enchant and the Disruption to try and get a PL army going of their own, but it's already looking sort of looking like dire days for them, and the PL Illusion is going to be non-stop pushing up on this top lane. Nexus did actually opt to pick himself up a drum, so just some more cheap pickups going for him right now, and only now down to 2 Diffusal Blade charges, so probably only has 1 more team fight left as far as the Purge goes, which is going to be a bit of a sigh of relief for Lions. So, going to be heading down towards bot. We've got a Ghost Scepter now picked up on the Bat Rider as well, and Nake's just not having a fun time from here on out. We've actually got a Veil of Discord picked up on Sharfik, so synergizing nicely with the Nyx and the Leshrac. It's a slightly interesting puck to see. He had a bad sort of start to the game, so not going for that blink, relying 100% on the bat for initiation, and it's sort of a utility puck coming out, but I definitely like it. I think a nice adjustment to see. Solo's actually going to pop his Ghost Scepter on mid, not 100% sure what that was about. Well, in bot, sorry. The tier 2 tower already taken by 3D Clan, and looks like they're not done just yet. Lions Pride getting into position to try and defend this one, but Bat Rider ready and raring to go with the initiation. Where is he? Off to the side. He gets the drag back on again. The repelled sniper. Good damage coming out, and sniper immediately popped. Dread dropping low, but he's going to pop off the carapace. Nate's trying to do what he can. Nice infest jump. Does manage to find that kill. Solo still going to work, and Stalk just being kited to death. Can't get any health from slapping anyone. You're going to buy back from the lifestealer, but a GG well played is going to be called by 3D Clan, and Solo's going to try and TP himself out. Will be successful in that endeavor. So that's going to be it for this best of 1 for Starseries Season 5. We've got a little bit more action coming up. We'll see exactly how many games I will be covering tonight, since it is, what's the time? It's coming up on 3 AM for me in Australia, so I like to do a little bit of casting every single day. But we'll see how many games I get out. So, thanks everyone for tuning in. This has been Starseries Season 5. This is our very first game of the tournament. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I've been Baseskip. If you guys have any feedback for me as far as my casting goes, please feel free to leave me a message in chat or send me an email at baseskipdota@gmail.com. But just going to be waiting around for the final score screen for the sake of the VODs. I'll jump out, have a little bit of chat to you guys since I am live, and then yeah, we'll be waiting around for the next game, which either someone in chat will be able to tell me what it is, or I'm going to have to check since I can't remember it off the top of my head. So yeah, thanks everyone. I'll hopefully see you soon. And yeah, hopefully we'll see the game autocomplete in just a second. And PL wants to stay connected just so that they get the win assigned to the correct team. So well done by him. And yeah, that's going to be it. So thanks everyone. I'll see you very, very soon.